In this section, we'll look at polar equations and their graphs. Up first, we have a definition. An equation whose variables are polar coordinates is called a polar equation. And the graph of a polar equation consists of all points whose polar coordinates satisfies the equation. Now, before we actually get into the polar equations and graphing them, we're going to do a very brief review of some basic graphs on the Cartesian plane, graphs that hopefully you are somewhat familiar with. Up first, we have y equals x. Notice that this is a linear equation. This is one that you may have been told is called an identity, because whatever you plug in for x, you're going to get the same value for y back. If we plug in 0, we get 0. If we plug in x is 1, we get y equals 1. If x is 2, y is 2. We could go in the other direction as well. If x is negative 1, y is negative 1. If x is negative 2, y is negative 2. And we get this, hopefully, somewhat familiar diagonal. This is the graph of the identity function, or y equals x. Up next, we have x equals negative 3. Whenever we see x equals a constant, and notice that there's no y, that is a vertical line, and it goes through the x-intercept of, in this case, negative 3. So we have negative 3 as an x-intercept, and it's a vertical line through that x-intercept. Notice that at every point on that line, the x value is negative 3. Similarly, in this graph, we have y equals 1. Whenever you see y equals a constant and there's no x, as we see here, we don't see an x, this is a horizontal line, and it's going to go through the y-intercept of 1. So every point on this line will have a y-coordinate of 1. So again, y equals a constant is a horizontal line. And finally, in this example, we have the graph of a circle. We can identify the center by looking at what's inside the parentheses. And the center is always going to be the opposite of what you see. We see a positive 1 and a negative 2, but the center is actually the opposite. So the center is negative 1, positive 2. And then the radius of the circle is going to be the square root of this constant on the end. Square root of 4 is 2. So r, in this case, is 2. To graph this, we'll start by plotting the center, negative 1, 2. And then we'll just go up, down, left, right, 2 units for the radius. Up, down, left, and right, 2 units. And from here, we can just play connect the dots and try to draw a smooth curve. Not too bad. Doesn't have to be perfect. We have the circle now.